Margaret had a really, really
there's
good
a delay.
December.
This will be fun.
Yeah, Margaret had a really good December. She did a good job getting into some talk a little bit about bookings tonight, and then we want to challenge you. We don't want to be on the phone too long because we want to give you the rest of the night to have a booking blitz and just start making some calls and doing some green dotting or whatever you need to do. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is who in the world do you call, okay? Let's brainstorm a little bit about who should you call. You've got those of us, you are all really new, so you probably don't have a lot of past hosts to call from. But down the road, you'll have past hosts to call from. You have your customers. And again, since you guys are new, you don't have a big database to pull from yet, but you will. As long as you're consistent, that'll grow. But you, of course, got your family members. Now, I know you guys are all on Facebook and you're watching all these people who are doing some healthy diets right now, right? Yeah. There's a lot of healthy diets going around. Leverage that. We've got products, especially this month in January, we've got those healthy bundles that are 60% off. Take advantage of those and contact people who you're seeing post certain things. Like if they're into spiralizing veggies, they definitely want to look at that 60% off special that includes the spiralizer. So you want to look at people who are dieting. And you don't have to just have parties. You can have fundraisers too. Think of organizations that are needing some fundraising. I know there's a lot of, they had all those Thomas fires in California. We're talking about California too because we got some California people that are going to probably listen to the playback of this. So there's all the rescue, the people who are helping with the people who had all the fires. And then even locally around here, there's all different organizations that you can connect with. Think of any organization that has a kitchen and that you might want to help them stock their kitchen with some new products. Everybody's always needing a facelift in their kitchen. I have this thing called a memory jogger. You probably see it backwards, but it's a memory jogger. And it's like, 3 pages long of ideas of people to call. And I'll share this on our team page. It's like members of your family, list you already have, probably your cell phone number, the people in your cell phone, your holiday cards. Then you've got your social media, all those avenues. You've got Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Skype, and whatever other ones. There's so many that we can go on and on. You got to think about people who's your architect, who's your bus driver for your kids, who is a butcher or a baker that you know, who is somebody in technical support, who is your children's friends' parents. I mean, this list is insane. There's so many opportunities and so many ideas that I'll try and get this on the team page to share it in our files so you can have that information. The other thing I wanted to show you, and I'm going to share my screen, again, you guys are new, but if you had anybody that purchased a rock crock, I'm going to show you where you can pull up reports where you can see what your #1 selling item was and since you started. You can pull that up. You can see all kinds of things. So let me share my screen with you and show you exactly where you can go to pull up reports. And what I was going to suggest is pulling up a report to see who's purchased rock crocks, because if they purchased one rock crock, they're probably going to want another one, and that's the special in February, right? So what you want to do is you want to go into selling and recruiting, and you're going to pull up right down here where it says personal business reports. You're going to click on that, and you have all these options here. So you've got order history reports, host lists. You can pull up all the people who's hosted. You've got all different types of lists. People who've booked parties, that's kind of a good thing to pull up. What I was looking for was order history reports. So I would go into here and I'm going to click on all the customers who've purchased specific products. Like I want to specifically look for people who've purchased the rock crocs. So I would put, sure, this date range is fine from the very beginning of when we started having the website, which is in 2012 to today. That's perfectly fine. And you would just put in the rock crock numbers. 1781 is the Dutch oven, and then $31.39 is the everyday pan. Now, I've been trying to do this today, and I think there's a glitch in the system because it keeps saying that there's an error in reporting. So once you put in your item numbers, you click Generate Report, and you see down here, for some reason, it says an error occurred while processing this report. But it typically pulls up an entire report. I've done this a ton of times over the years when I'm trying to zoom in on specific people with specific product needs. And it's just really, really helpful. So I wanted to show this option to you because this is a great thing to pull from when you're looking for people to contact for parties. So there's that. Tina, is there anything else that I missed on who to call? I can't hear you.
Sorry, I had to unmute. The only thing I was going to suggest is when you're looking at some of your contacts, what you can do is, we call it kind of cross-pollinating your contacts. So let's say my sister, Dawn, I want to think about her friends, her family, maybe her husband's family, her neighbors. So sometimes you can think of contacts that are related through your existing contacts. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's kind of thinking beyond your people. Because that's what you want. You want to get out of your circle, because you'll find if you keep going in your little circle, it gets stale after a while. So you have to really reach out to the people that are outside of your circle. And so that's count on your circle to help you get out there. So that's good. All right, Tina's going to talk about why would they want to have a party.
Yeah, so we have to have kind of an angle that we're coming at our contacts and why would they want to have a party. And wouldn't you agree, we all have had parties for different reasons? Some people have parties because they want some free stuff. Some people had a party because they loved a theme that was offered or they wanted to learn a new recipe. Some people have had a party because they wanted to raise some money for a specific organization that was near and dear to their heart. Some people have had a party because they did it as a wedding shower for their daughter or niece or somebody getting married. So you want to kind of think about why this person might want to have a party.
Or just to have a party.
Just to have a party. Get some girl time. All of us are so busy and we don't always take time to get together with our friends. You ever feel like that? You have all these friends you just want to see, but you never get the time to see them. So it's a great way just to get them together for a fun event. So when you're approaching someone as a contact, you want to think about what angle you're going to approach them with. So let's say you have a really good friend, her name is Miriam, and she hates to cook. You're thinking, well, I can't ask her to have a party. She hates to cook. Well, you know what? That's exactly why she might want to have a party, because that night she doesn't have to cook. Her friends will. Or she might have some really great tools that she can earn for free to help her get out of the kitchen since she hates to cook. Or a lot of times women have parties because their husbands are the cook and they're getting tools for the husband. So don't ever discount someone who doesn't really care to cook or who says they don't cook. They still would enjoy a fun event. Someone that loves to entertain, that person that's kind of like loves to have people over, that's the type of person you would approach with, hey, I know you love to get your friends together. I have this really cool theme that I'm doing this month in January. It's called Soup and Slippers. And all your friends can come in their slippers and we're going to make this warm, just delicious, comforting soup, which would be so good right now with this cold weather. And doesn't that sound like fun? And we'll have a wonderful chocolate dessert to go with it. Or, those that like to, indulge in wine, cheese, and chocolate parties. Those are really popular as well. So just kind of thinking about that. Why would this person, why would it be beneficial for them to have a show? Anything else on that, Miriam?
I don't think so. That's why the host specials are important for you to know. And what's really great, one thing that I remember when Tina and I went to a retreat in Wisconsin last year, we got to hear Nancy Jo Ryan talk. And one of the things that she said is she doesn't even use the host special as leverage for her parties, because do you realize that every single party, they earn a half price item? So you always want to talk about the half price items at your party. So And if they say, oh, but what are the specials? I'll say every month is a special because you can pick anything in the catalog at half price. And then the benefit or the extra exciting thing is you get to pick one of these items at 60% off, but you never ever never lose sight of the fact that every party is a great time to have a party because you can get whatever you want at half price. So that's pretty important too. So
yeah. So definitely if you're thinking, well, I don't know what theme shows that I want to offer, you can go online. There's all sorts of party packs with different themes that you can offer. There's the one pot meals, which, every busy family needs that. The wine, cheese, and chocolate. There's salad and sangria. There's farmer's market fresh. I mean, there's I think Italian night. So there's so many different themes. And of course you can make up your own as well. So, get creative, get fun, be excited about that. And your hosts and guests will be as well. Another thing that I forgot to mention as Miriam was talking, I was reviewing my notes, housewarming. You see anybody that's buying a house, housewarming, she'll fill that new kitchen with new tools, and everybody's going to want to come so they can see their new house. So an opportunity to come in and do a housewarming party for them.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Or a kitchen model reveal. So many people are renovating or whatever. And then also people host shows to see new products. So like I have hosts that host every new season because they want to see the new products and they want to earn them for free.
That's all good. And a lot of that, what we were just talking about, why would they want to have a party, is a great thing to lead us into our next topic, which is what do you say to have these parties? So if you have a theme, you can contact these people and you can just pretty much say exactly what she was just saying. I'm so excited about this month. One, it's freezing cold outside and I'm doing soup and slippers, and I would love to get together with you and your friends to have a soup and slippers. Sometimes you can even do a soup and slipper slumber party. If you're really good friends with them, you could do all of that. But a soup and slipper party or a fajita margarita party. There's so many different themes that you can do that you can talk about. Now, the other thing of what to say, how many of you are familiar with green dotting on Facebook? Do you know what that means, Margaret?
Yes.
Green dotting on Facebook,
yes.
You know what that means? Green dotting on Facebook, if you, let me show you, I'm going to pull up, I'm going to show you what that means. Okay, let me share my screen and I'm going to show you when it's time to green dot. This is where you're looking. Right over here, you see my screen? You see this whole section right here on Facebook? This is called green dotting. All these people are currently on Facebook. So if you start a live chat with somebody, they are going to be able to respond to you right away because they're already on. So this is why it's really good to do green dotting with people, because you can generate an instant conversation. You don't have to wait until you hear back from them. But what you could do, I've done lots and lots of times, is I would say, hey, I know the last time we partied, it's been 2 or 3 years. I just wanted to let you know that I'm super excited about this new selling season. We've got some great specials coming up. What do you think about getting your friends together? And I could show off. We can do like a chicken fajita, quick fajitas in 15 minutes party. Or we've done, I've done a little Italy night. There's all different types of themes that you can come up with that are, different types of food related, or just some fun things like a wine, cheese, and chocolate party, or like depending on the time of the year, like in December, I was really pushing my 5 appetizers in 15 minutes. And that was like, woo, I had a lot of parties for that. So you want to kind of think about different things to say to generate the conversation. Green dotting is great. You can send text messages to people. And a lot of times I do my customer care calls and I say things like, oh my goodness, Margaret, thank you so much for being a part of April's party. Her party was incredible. Her sales were great, and it was all because of the orders. And thank you for placing that order to help her get to that goal. Now I would like to invite you to also have a party of your own to help you get some free products for your kitchen. April had such a great job. And plus, if you book a party, you're helping April still because she'll benefit from your booking. And I can't tell you how many people are like, oh my gosh, yeah, I would love to do that. Or that would be great. Or they might say, I can't right now, but I'd like to in a couple months. Well, then I pull out my calendar and I put in there in a couple months to call that person so I can touch base with them. So you want to have a good organized system as well, that when you are talking to people and you know what to say to them, that you're keeping track of when to call them again. Tina, is there something else about what to say?
Yeah, okay, I had to unmute. Okay, I was clicking the wrong place. That made me forget what I wanted to say. Oh, okay, so if you're offering a cooking party, you might then, if they're too busy for that, you might offer the virtual party option or a catalog party option.
For sure.
Also, don't forget to ask for the referral. And that's something I forget to do. So I'm preaching to myself here. They can't do it. I a lot of times forget to say, well, oh my goodness, thank you so much for your time. Is there anybody that you know that, loves Pampered Chef or, that you wouldn't mind to refer to me? I love referrals and I would love to reward you for a referral. So don't be afraid to ask for the referral. There's a lot of people out there looking for a Pampered Chef consultant, believe it or not. There's a lot of them out there. Sometimes we just have to ask for that. And then, what was the other thing? Sometimes I don't throw all the information out there at one time. I'll just say, oh my gosh, it's been so long since we have pampered you in your kitchen, which we got an amazing host special going on for January. Would you like to hear about it? So I don't tell them what it is. I make them respond and say, yeah. So that way they can't make that. They're talking to me a little bit before
And sometimes I'll end by saying, I only have a few dates left in April, or in February or in January. Can I share those dates with you? Yeah. And then when they say yes, then you want to go ahead and strike up that whole next part of the conversation. And if they say no, you just say, that's great. Thank you so much. I'll be in touch with you. Or, sometimes always remember, a no does not mean never. Okay. It may just be no for right now. And you can always reach out to them later on to see if if things have changed or whatever. So
absolutely.
Does anybody have any questions about any of that so far?
I do.
Yes.
How do you guys respond? Okay, let me just do a short scenario. I sent out quite a bit of text messages, emails over the past couple days, just trying to get some bookings. I had 2 people respond. So in that event, I messaged probably 15 to 20 people. Do you then follow up and risk the chance of just bugging the crap out of these people? Or do you just let it go and not, you know what I'm trying to say? Or
yeah.
Do you just kind of let it, fizz out and then go back and try to reach them again?
I think it depends on the person. If it was a complete cold contact someone you haven't ever talked with about Pampered Chef or S&M, I might not contact them for a while again. But if it's someone that you knew that was interested, I would definitely reach out again and say, hey, I don't want to bug you, but I also don't want you to think that I've forgotten about you. And I know you wanted to have a party. And I know sometimes I read my messages and mean to respond and don't get a chance. So just check back in, that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, you can totally word it in a way that you're not being pushy. I love that. I've done that. I've done what Tina has said. Hey, especially if they kind of lead you on and say, yeah, I do want to have a party. And then there's nothing ever securely put on the calendar. I would always say, hey, I know we chatted a while ago about having a party and I really wanted to just connect with you again because I didn't want you to think I forgot about you. I know you had said you wanted to, so maybe we can look at the calendar and pick out a day that will work best for you. Here's what I have. I work on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays kind of thing. Whatever you want to do. So I don't know. Does that help, April?
Yes, it does. I guess I'm always just scared that I'm going to, annoy everybody and run them off. And then, anybody that was this close to wanting to do it might not be approachable anymore after that. So
right. And you're normal for feeling that way, because we all feel that way. That is a very normal feeling. So you'll learn. I'll be honest with you. I just did 3 virtual parties that I just closed, and I literally text messaged every single one of them, because one of them was in Wisconsin. I don't even remember. The other one was in Ohio, and then the other one was here locally. But I don't know any of these people, so I just messaged them all, and I said, thanks for sharing in the party. And I had 2 or 3 of them that were like, no, I don't want to have a party. I'm like, that's totally fine. Thank you so much I thank them for responding, because more than anything, I never get a response.
Right.
So when they do respond, always be honorable and thank them, and, and thank them for their honesty. Otherwise, you wouldn't know. Otherwise, some of them will say, yeah, I would. Can you show me this? Tell me what the specials are. And then I'll send a quick picture of each of the specials for January and February and whatever. But you'll learn the best way to handle it. But out of all, I can't even tell you how many people, probably about 40 or 50 people, maybe 5 of them responded to me. Okay. So it's very, very normal.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't know who I am. I always introduce myself. I'm like, hey, this is Miriam with Pampered Chef. Thanks for ordering on so-and-so's party. Kind of giving them that little background, and then going in and asking them if they're interested in having their own. But the next category that we're going to talk about, Tina is going to take over, and it's called handling objections, which is a really good topic because we all know what that means, and Tina's going to go into that.
Yeah. So, way back in my career, when I would get a hesitation or an objection, I just considered that was really a no, and that I really didn't try to address that objection or hesitation. Hang on one second.
She's got to yell at her kids, her grandbabies. Uh-oh.
When the music goes on,
she had to get up. She had to get up. She has flown. She's out of the picture. And she's back.
He just picked the most noisy toy to drag in here while I was talking. I'm like, oh, get out of here with that. Oh, his uncles are supposed to be watching him, but they're slacking. So I wouldn't address that hesitation, because I would be like, that means no, right? Isn't that what we think? If you ask someone, gosh, I'd love to pamper you in your kitchen, and they say, oh my goodness, yeah, but my house is way too small. I couldn't have a party. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I would just leave it at that. But actually, objections are not a no. They're just trying to figure out in their mind how they could make it work. And it's actually a good thing, because they haven't told you no. Really, they're thinking about it, and they're trying to figure it out. So, if someone says to you, no, I don't want to have a party, well, there's not a whole lot you can do with that. But even now, so the things that I've learned, I might say, oh, really? I'm so sorry to hear that, but I'm really curious. Why don't you want to have a party? Just curious, and just find out, if you feel like taking that step, just kind of, about the rapport you have with someone. But when they have a hesitation, try to talk with them about it. Figure out a way to overcome that hesitation. So we're going to talk about some of the common hesitations, and then I'm also already loaded this. I put this file already on our group page, so you can print this off and have this right next to you when you're making your contacts. That way, if someone does have one of these common objections, you'll have some ideas here, right, what to say. What would you guys say is like your number one objection here?
Not having time.
Not having time.
Yeah.
I don't have any time. I'm too busy.
Well, and it's funny because then I follow up with a virtual party idea, and they still say that they have too much on their calendar. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple of ways you can respond. I know how you feel. A lot of, my hosts have felt that way, but what I found is that they love the idea of getting all their friends together at once, that they haven't had time for a fun girls' night. Don't you think it's time for you to get together with your girlfriends just for a couple hours, one night? Could you find one night in the next couple of weeks that you could get together with your girlfriends?
Yeah, explain the feel, felt, found, Tina, because that's important.
Yeah. So one of the techniques you can use to kind of address somebody is the feel, felt, found. And that really makes them feel heard and acknowledged. So it's just, you know what, I totally understand how you feel. You can say, I felt that way, or I had a host who felt that way, but what she found or what I found is, XYZ. So what do you think? Would you want to revisit that idea? So another thing I'll say to people, that think they're too busy, is, I totally understand how you feel. Everyone is so busy nowadays. But the great thing is it's super easy to host a Pampered Chef party and make it super easy for you. And the cool thing is you won't even have to cook dinner tonight because we're going to cook it together in the kitchen with your friends. How fun would that be? You got to cook dinner anyways, right? So any other common ones that you guys have had that we can go over one more?
All my friends don't have money.
Oh, yes. My friends don't have any money. Have you guys ever heard that one? I don't want them to feel pressured to come and buy. I understand how you feel. I'm always reluctant to invite someone to a party who is struggling financially. But what I found is that they are the ones who really need a night out. There is absolutely no obligation to buy. However, if they want to buy something, we have over 80 products that are under $10. Why don't we have a fun get together and give your friends a fun evening out? Isn't that awesome? So you're just reassuring her that you're not going to pressure her friends to spend $100 at your party. And the great thing about Pampered Chef is we have such a versatile line. Anybody can come and get a nice product and not even spend more than 10 or 20 bucks, and they can have something really great for their kitchen, or they may find a way to make some extra. I wouldn't probably say this to my host. I'm saying this to y'all. So don't feel bad if someone comes to your party, and I have people walk in the door and say, I can't buy anything tonight. Have you ever had that, Miriam?
Right up at the front. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just here to support my friend. Well, yes. Support with what?
I know, right? But then I'll say, oh, I'm so glad you came. Don't worry about that. We're going to have lots of fun. And come on and enjoy yourself. But in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, that's my targeted person for hosting a show, or more importantly, the business opportunity. Because if they don't have $10 or $20 to spend at a party, they need some extra income. And Pampered Chef could absolutely be that answer to those prayers. So I know I'm going off a little outside of bookings, but yeah. So I understand how you feel. My house is too small. You know what? I understand how you feel. A lot of my hosts have felt that way, but you would be so surprised. We don't need a lot of room. We just have a little table to work around, and people, the closer we are together seems the more fun they have anyhow, because then we're, together and having a great time. So don't feel like that. Or maybe you have a friend that would let you have it at their house. So that's another option too we can think about. Or I have my church too, so I can do it there. So if you have a location, you can do it. Or have it at your house, you can do that too. Ladies, there's no rules against that. So, Miriam, have you ever had a show for someone at your house that couldn't do it at theirs?
Oh, lots of times. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that
happens. Yeah. That happens a lot.
So anyhow, hopefully you guys have gotten some good ideas on who to call and what to say.
I have one suggestion. I'm sorry, Tina. I don't mean to interrupt.
I should have asked you. Sorry.
That's okay. These guys are new consultants. So they just had parties in November and December. So you guys can actually do some customer care calls. You want to call all those people that ordered stuff, and you want to ask them if they are enjoying their products and if they need a recipe for what they ordered. So if somebody ordered a rock crock and they're like, I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. You're like, what? Oh my goodness. That is the miracle worker. You need to use that. So what you want to do is you want to direct them to your website, and you want to say, oh my goodness, go to my website, and up in the search, type in rock crock, and all kinds of recipes for rock crocks will come up. And you should never, ever. So if you're creating a relationship with your customers, that is key. So then at this point, that would be like the second call. The first call you would make, and I posted something on our team page for the 222 calls, 2 days after the party, 2 weeks after the party, and then 2 months after the party. And it's just a little script that you can look at. So right after the party, you want to call a couple days later. And sometimes I do this by email. I'll email everybody and I'll say, thanks so much for coming to the party. It was so much fun having you. I promised you the recipe from the party. Here it is. And I'll attach it to the email. And then I talk about, like, I try and do a cooking class once a month. I'll talk about that. Or I'll just invite them to, I don't even really talk about for them having a party. I don't even do that. On the very first call, it's all about them. Thank you for coming. Thanks for ordering. I hope you had a good time. That second call, which is the 2 weeks after, is when you want to check on them and their product. By now, they should have received their product. You want to make sure they take it out of the box and they're using it, and you want to give them as much customer service as you possibly can. And then the last call is 2 months after the party, which is about now for some of you. If you had a November party, December, January. So you want to call your November people and say, oh my goodness, we just got past all the holidays, and I wanted to reach out to you and tell you, I hope you got to use some of your new stuff over the holidays. Tell me something you made with your product. And that way they can start up this conversation with you. It's getting real comfortable. And then you can talk to them about, well, I'm really, really excited because we're entering a brand new season. Well, you don't want to talk about the new season, but you can say, I'm really excited. I want to talk to you about the Rock Crocs that we have on sale coming up in February. Or this month, even better, double free products. Focus on this month if you still have dates left to book this month, because it's only the 16th. You have 2.5 weeks left, and you can still book some parties, even virtual parties. So take advantage of the special and use that as leverage and say, oh my goodness, we got a great special. I just wanted to let you know what it was because it's too good to pass up. So I really wanted to make sure you were aware of it. So those are some words that you can use to really reach out. But now's the time to call those November people and just follow up with them and see how much they're using their stuff, and if they have any questions, and maybe ask them about having their own party. Now that they've had a chance to play with products, they might be hungry for more. So
yes, absolutely. That's great, Miriam. And ladies, no's are so normal. You're going to hear lots of no's. You're going to hear crickets with no responses. It's so normal. Okay, Miriam and I get those all the time. Okay, we have no magic phone or magic text. It's consistency. It's numbers. It's a numbers game. So please don't get discouraged. Just keep doing it. First of all, you're going to get some yeses. The yeses are found in the land of no's. More noses than yeses. So don't be discouraged. I always let you know that on the front, that's totally normal. If you are not hearing no, you ladies are not working your business enough. So you need to hear no's. It's normal. And remember, like Miriam said, no is not forever. A lot of times it's not right now. A lot of times people will tell you that. No, it's just not right now. And you can say, well, when would be better? And then, like she said, track that in your calendar and contact them back. So I just wanted to encourage you with that. Miriam, did you have something else you wanted to add?
You know what? We also posted in our team page the little blue book of bookings. Definitely print that out and make sure you print it properly so it actually, when you turn the pages, it's a book. That is a really great way to track what you're doing. You can jot down the people that you're calling. You can jot down on the page what bookings you're getting, and you can start using that to book this month, next month. And you all know that the spring product is coming out in March. So if you didn't see the discontinued items, that's already posted. They've already shared that. So, and lastly, before we go, spring launch is January 29th. Margaret, I think you guys are going to be going to Mima's house to see all that. And our girls, everybody, we're going to come to my house to watch the home office video. So we'll see what's coming out. We can't wait to see. So definitely put that on your calendar, Monday, January 29th for spring launch. And I think that's it. If you guys have any questions for us, shoot them out real quick, and then we'll wrap it up so you can take a few minutes to call some people. Anybody?
So usually if it's calling, I'll call up until 8:39 p.m. And then messaging on Facebook you can do anytime because you can tell people are on Facebook. So sometimes later is better. And the great thing is it's a snow day here for all of us, right? And so people are at home. Nobody's out and about. I find that snow days are the most amazing times to make connections with people. So let's take advantage of this and let's go for it. And then if you ladies would just post your brag, toot your horn on our team page. Let us know some of your successes. We would love to hear. Maybe it's just the number of contacts. Hey, I contacted 20 people. It's not all about just getting the booking. It's about doing it, doing the action. Okay, that is something to celebrate as well. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate all of you.
And keep in touch.
Thank you, guys.
Alrighty, have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Margaret.